What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. White man explores the ethical implications of fleeing America. All right, and I like this kind of white guy. Like, these are the type of white people that I like. Okay, he's in the light skin category. It's a light skinned dude. All right, and he's being reasonable, utilizing common sense, right? Utilizing history, right, and precedent, and he's making a compelling point, right? And he's one of them cool white folk that's white, ain't trying to be anything other than who he is. He knows who he is. He understands who his people are, right? And he's willing to make the necessary changes and have the conversations in his community, right, about the changes necessary, right, to go towards the future, because he understands what his people has done in the past. He's not naive. He's not hiding. He's not pretending, right? He's not in a fantasy world. Like, these are the type of white folks that black people like. Like, just keep it real. Just be normal. Be normal, right? Be good. All right, and if you got to make a move, right? But don't make excuses and don't lie about it. Anyway, without further ado, let's listen to this good light-skinned white man psychoanalyze the situation. That's all I gotta say. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out.
So in my last video, I advised other white people to consider the ethical implications of fleeing the US, given our history both here and in Europe. We clear-cut Europe to the ground and instituted a series of brutal fascist dictatorships that we all fled from. Now we're instituting brutal fascist dictatorships on land we stole from other people. At some point we have to ask, is it us? Are we the problem? And what does it mean for us to do that here and then run away? And many did, both publicly and privately. The vast majority of the response was thoughtful and positive from people all over the political spectrum, as it usually is in my comments sections. But some had another response. From the right, there was a little chorus of people yelling, "I'm not responsible for the sins of my ancestors. No one's ever done anything for me, and I don't know nobody nothing. Enough of this white guilt." It's a bold stance for them to say that they don't believe in inheritance, but I think I can get on board. So what they're saying is that when people pass away, all their possessions and money should go to the state to be distributed equally among the next generation. That's kind of a cool idea. Oh, what? That's not what you meant? You actually absolutely believe in family inheritance? But you don't think that comes with any responsibility to consider why white people in this country statistically inherit 5 times more than black people? That's a weird compartmentalization. So you believe in being part of an intergenerational community with responsibility when it benefits you, but not when it asks anything. Oh, got it. I'm a lifelong dirt poor redneck. Nobody's ever done nothing for me either, man. Nobody pays my bills because of my skin color. That's not what this means. And I still benefit from the structural privileges of being white. I can walk down the road of my small town in perfect safety. My brother-in-law, who's a black man, he walks half a mile down the road and people are screaming slurs at him, throwing things at him, and swerving so he has to jump into the bushes. The fact that it happens to him and not me makes my safety a privilege. The entire economy you live and work in is built on the blood and labor of people of color, and going la 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 so you can pretend that has absolutely nothing to do with you is a long way from the famed conservative responsibility. I never said you should feel guilty. I said you should take responsibility. The fact that you can't tell the difference, and when I say responsibility, you hear guilt, that's part of the exact problem I was asking you to consider. From the left, there's a chorus of people centering other identities of theirs, saying, "But I'm insert marginalized identity, so this doesn't apply to me." Notice that just like the right responds to something I didn't say, because they hear responsibility as guilt, when I say white people should consider this, a whole bunch of people on the left say, "You're not considering intersectionality and your male cis privilege is showing." If you listen, I never said not a single person with white skin should flee emergent fascism in the US. That's in the heads of the left. What I said was, if you're white, you should consider the ethical implications of leaving. And despite the superficial differences, both groups' immediate visceral responses reduce down to, "Not me, I don't need to consider my whiteness." When it comes from the right, it's dressed as, "But I never oppressed anybody." And when it comes from the left, it's dressed as, "But I'm oppressed in this way." And it's the exact same thing. It's a distancing from what our whiteness means. This is a central wound of whiteness. It's the wound of self-excusal. Chomsky would call it exceptionalism. It says, maybe that's true in general for people, but it doesn't apply to me. Here's the thing. If you're white, you absolutely need to consider what I said, regardless of any self-excusing narrative that jumps into your mind or my comments. To be an ethical person and not cause harm, you must consider this. I never said you should feel guilty. I actually think guilt is self-centered and harmful as well. And I never said that some seriously at-risk people shouldn't flee. If you're a trans person, maybe leaving is the right choice for you. That's not mine to speak to. But what is mine to speak to, white person, is this. To flee ethically, as a white person, you still must consider what whiteness fleeing means, which is what I said. None of us are excused from the implications and impacts of our whiteness for any reason. And if you think you are, then you're embodying the very self-excusing wound that's causing you to flee. That means you'll bring the thing you're fleeing with you in your heart wherever you go. You might be able to flee the US for a minute, but you can never flee the white colonial self-excusing exceptionalism that's in your heart. That wound you must face to become a healthy person. You would 100% be harming and colonizing wherever you fled to with that ethic of self-excusal. So stop it. All of you, stop it. You right-wing tough boys pretending you're separate from the communities and systems that raised you, separate from the economy you grew up and work in, which was built with the blood of oppressed people. Your excuses about how you personally never hurt anybody are petty, and you're embarrassing yourselves. Find your backbone and face our history. You folks with other identities on the left, just imagine a man insisting that he doesn't have to reckon with his masculinity because he's poor, or gay, or Muslim, or any other identity. That's what you look like. Face it, the way you wish people who oppress you would face their wounds. You're white, and that has implications and means there's things you need to think about. I wasn't speaking to being trans, or a woman, or a parent, or married to a person of color. I was just speaking to whiteness. And if you're white, that's you, my friend, and we have work to do. I'll give you one other thing to consider. If the only white people who stay to resist are straight, cis, hetero, single, able-bodied men, the most privileged group in the history of the world, you think we're going to have a grounded, meaningful, intersectionally liberatory resistance movement? Think that's going to set everybody up for success, do you? When you use other identities as shields from considering your whiteness, you perpetuate the exact wounds that got us here. So you white folks who are in the closed comments jumping up to say, not me, I don't have to consider my whiteness, because you're being really stereotypically, problematically white right now. Notice how virtually all the comments from people of color understand what I'm saying. Even the people of color with far more marginalized identities than you are immediately reckoning with the ethics of fleeing in the exact way that you're excusing yourself from. So the self-excusing thing you're doing, as you say whatever you say to excuse yourself, that's the exact reason you need to set down whatever self-excusing shields you reflexively grab and bravely and vulnerably consider your whiteness. I promise, all this will do is help you. Face it, own it, all the way back. It's the only way forward. And again, the strong majority of white people in those comments of all identities are doing this hard work of looking at uncomfortable pasts and uncomfortable mirrors, and I'm proud to stand next to you. Thank you.
Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan!
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.